This is Swarfcast. I'm Noah Graff. I am very honored to be with Anthony Davis, co-vice president of Global CNC. Welcome to the show, Anthony.
Yeah, thank you very much, Noah. Thanks for having me.
It is a pleasure. I met Anthony, like I meet many of my guests, trying to sell them some machines, an index machine. And, you know, what often happens is they don't necessarily buy the machine, but they'll agree to be on the podcast to talk about the interesting stuff that they're making. First, tell people a little bit about what Global CNC makes.
Yeah, so Global CNCs, we're a precision tool holding manufacturer, right? So our company was founded in 1983. We really started with tool holder bushings, right? So my grandfather was the founder of the company, and he started with tool holder bushings and sleeves. And then throughout the 40 years we've been in business, we advanced our product line to boring bar sleeves, straight shake collet chucks, VDI tool holders, static tool holders, and now driven tooling as well.
Okay, driven tooling, live tools.
Correct, yeah.
And so these are live tools that would go on like a turret for a CNC lathe.
Yes, yeah, we make driven tools for all the different major manufacturers: Mazak, DMG Mori, Nakamura, Haas, Doosan, everyone.
What type of machines do you make tool holders for? Mills, lathes, multi-spindles?
Lathes and mill turns.
Okay, so no Swiss, no multi-spindles at this point.
Swiss is coming. Swiss is coming soon, probably the next year and a half. Swiss will be coming.
Okay. Now let's just get a quick little bio of you, and then we'll jump more in depth on the company. Okay. So what's your story, Anthony?
Yeah, so I actually started with the company when I was a child, right? So I'd come and work around the shop, right? Whatever they need me. But I really started full time during COVID.
How old are you?
23.
23?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What a wonderful age to be. God.
Yeah, it's great. But I started during COVID. I was going to school at U of M Dearborn here in Michigan, and playing hockey. And then we were actually going to go to nationals for hockey, right? And then they shut it down and said, nope, you're not going. There's no online school. Everything in the country closed and everything. And then
that must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was pretty upsetting, right? It was I think the day before we were supposed to get on the bus and drive to Dallas to play. We were number 4 in the country at the time too. It was pretty crazy, but yeah, we were good.
Dearborn, Michigan?
Yeah, U of M Dearborn.
Number 4 in the country, like Division 1?
Not division. It's ACHA, so it's Division 1, like club hockey.
Oh, okay, like club hockey.
Yeah, but it's still pretty. It was still competitive.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you guys were awesome. Wow.
Yeah, it was a good time. So after that, the country closed down and everything, and there was no more hockey and school was online. My grandfather, he said, "Okay, now you got to come to work." And I said, "Okay."
So does your dad work in it as well?
No, just the only family is me, my brother, and my grandfather.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So why is your mother and father just do different stuff?
Yeah, no, they both didn't want anything to do with the company, right? And it's my mom's dad who founded the company. So her sister didn't want to be a part, but me and my brother really grew up a lot around our grandparents, and we spent a lot of time with them. So we wanted to follow in their legacy.
Very cool. How old's your grandfather?
84.
84, and he's still really active?
It's his baby.
Same with my dad's 80, and he's He's still the sole owner, so
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, no, he's here every day, Monday through Saturday, working 10, 12 hour days.
Ugh. Um, okay, so you stopped college to come work, or did you keep working in?
I was going to school full time during COVID and working full time.
Okay,
And then when they allowed us to play hockey again, I was playing hockey, going to school, and working full time.
wow,
Yeah, we'd wake up, have hockey from 7 to 9. From hockey, I'd come back to work, do online class till about 5. Then I had class from 6:30 till like 8:30.
I assume you
Both.
didn't have a significant other at the time.
No, I did. Yeah, yeah. It was a lot of work, but
So, what do you do at the company, and what did you start doing?
so I started really in the inventory department, learning the products. Right. So they said, Anthony, you need to count row by row and make sure the inventory is correct. So I started there, and then kind of worked my way up doing different things, working on machines. But now, really, I'm in charge of like sales, marketing, finance. Those are three of my responsibilities, my main responsibilities.
And finding awesome machines, used
Yeah,
machines.
I do enjoy that as well. Just me and my brother looked to see what advanced technologies are out there to help produce our products faster.
Do you usually buy new machines for your shop?
Uh, Majority, yes. We've had a couple times luck at auction getting some machines, but 98% we buy new.
Okay. And what kind of machines you run? Hosses? You run what kind of machines do you have in the
Um,
shop?
yeah, we really have a mix of machines, right? So since we make our own product line, we have to really please everyone. So we have some Mazak, Kadim Jimori, Doosan, Okuma. We have a good mix.
Interesting. Why? What do you mean by that? You have to please your.
Um, it's not. We are working with different machine tool builders, right? So uh, in order for them to, I don't want to say in order for them to work with us, but it looks better for us to cooperate with everyone and have everyone's type of machine,
I see.
whether it's a mill or a lathe or a grinder.
So you're not selling direct to um, end users all the
Correct.
time. You're selling through distributors.
Yes.
Is that where like all your business comes from, or do you also sell direct to a customer?
Majority of it comes mainly through distribution. We do sell directly to end users as well, but it's in specific circumstances if they don't want to use a distributor.
I see. So your business really relies upon people buying new machines.
New machines, used machines, new projects, retooling, a lot of it. Yeah.
I see. I see. I mean, like for instance, with us, we have a spare parts business
Mhm.
for Wickman multi spindles,
Okay.
and I mean, with the Wickman multi spindle screw machine, it's a great screw machine, but we've sold only a handful the last few years. It's
Yeah.
not been a great thing to sell. However, the spare parts business has been really good. People are still like, you know, they're still using the machines. They're just repairing them. So this isn't exactly repair parts, but I mean, these are parts that you think you could sell even if people aren't buying new
Exactly.
ones. But they're still going to. So, for instance, if somebody needs a live tool, they're going to go to DMG Mori and say, "I want a live tool." They're not going to go straight to you.
It really depends, right? So most manufacturers now, I think, have a good relationship with an industrial distributor, right? So they might have a tooling rep that a distributor rep that comes and sees them once a week or once every 2 weeks that says, "What can I help you with? Any tooling? Any tool holders? Any?" They help solve the problems around the shop, right? And those people, um, like MSC, Blackhawk, those big name distributors that we work with, they have salesmen all around the country that help introduce
Okay,
our
so you're
products.
also working with MSC
Correct.
in addition to working with the
Machine
builders.
tool builders, yeah.
That makes total sense. Did you bring any with you?
Yeah.
Bring any
Uh,
toys? So this, everybody listening, you're going to have to tune into YouTube for this. Okay, so hold that up. Hold it up
yeah.
like right in front of your face. That's good.
This is it's a
So
driven tool holder for a VDI machine.
yeah, just
EMAG.
describe it really in detail. Okay.
Yeah, it's for an EMAG, right? So it has ER32 output, which is they call it taper, and then as it did an 1809 connection for the machine
We
side.
have some emags for sale. Well, we'll have to talk after this.
Yeah. No, I think definitely we could work something out too. So
Okay, hold it up. Yeah, so I can see it better. Okay. And then, so is there anything about yours that are different from your competitors?
yes, so most of ours are made in the USA, right? So we really pride ourselves on that, and we're the really one of the only manufacturers that produce these tools in the USA. Also, our design is really we have been repairing driven tools for quite a long time, right? Not just our brand, but other brands. So what some of our philosophy is to take tools from other brands that we receive and say, okay, why did this fail, and then try to not let that happen with ours, right? Try to design it in a way that um, is it cannot fail in those certain ways.
Do you guys have a whole bunch of engineers there? Who designs them?
Yeah, we do have a pretty large engineering department that works exclusively on designing driven tools and static tools as well.
Interesting. Where are most of the tools made? Japan, Germany,
Uh,
China,
our main competition is from Germany and Italy,
from
and
Italy?
probably Japan as well. Japan is growing as well in driven tools, but mainly it's Germany and Italy.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, got anything else?
Uh, I also brought this new Swiss style tool holder that we're going to be coming out with later this year. So it's four flats. It's micro holders. We have not come up with a specific name for them yet, but
So what
they're
would
going to
that go on? What machine?
like a Citizen or a Star or Sugami,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be used as boring bar holders.
When somebody is looking for a tool holder, um, what should they think about?
I think a lot of it is precision, right, and the way that it's made. So our tool holders and the material. Um, so our static and driven tool holders are made from high quality steel. So a lot of our competitors they'll make tools from Durabar, which is a soft material, right, and it wears down easy, right. Where ours are high quality steel, and we have some certain heat treating specifications that make our tools different than others, right? In terms of static tools, they're not heat treated, but what we do to differentiate ourselves for static tools is we grind all the critical surfaces. Many of our competitors don't grind the critical surfaces. They they really finish them in the machine and
Hmm.
then pass the quality. But we take our time and ID grind and surface grind 99% of them.
Is a main difference in the tool holders like how long they last or how long they last before they need to be repaired?
Yeah, a lot of it's how the life of the tool and the precision. People making aerospace medical components, they need precise tools, so they look for us to provide them with them.
Mm-hmm. But you supply to like most of the builders.
Correct.
Interesting. So when somebody buys a Haas machine or an index machine, do they, how do they choose which holders come on there? Do they um, just say, hey, index, what do you recommend? Or I want to spend X amount? Or how does that work?
It really depends on the salesman selling the machine, but also the customer. Right. We have a large customer base that are pretty loyal to our products, so um, we see that we get tooling certificate orders when people order new machines quite often.
Is it partly that people want something made in the U.S.? They trust it made in the U.S. Or they want to just buy American?
I think that's part of it, but I think the quality speaks over that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think that made in the USA is one thing, but quality is the most important, and that's what we try to show our customers with our tools.
Right. I mean, I associate quality often with made in the USA.
Yeah.
Not always with cars, but but have you been thinking much about the tariffs proposed, and would that be helpful for you, or probably helpful in some ways and not in other ways?
Really don't really like to go into the politics, but I think that
Yeah, but I mean, look, it doesn't matter whether you like him or not. This is an objective thing,
yeah, I
in my
think
opinion.
for tariffs, it could be beneficial, but it also could be not so beneficial for us, right?
Where do you think it's beneficial, and where do you think it's not beneficial?
In terms of the tool holders, I don't think that really, because our competition brings them in from overseas, from like Germany, Italy, they're not really focusing on tariffing those countries, right? Because we also get a lot of things like cars, really mainly cars really from those countries, right? That I can think off the top of my head. But I don't think they'd put such high tariffs on those products that we would see so much of a benefit, but enough that say, okay, their price could go up 20% and ours can stay flat, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just thinking because your tool holders are made here,
Correct.
that maybe that would help.
It could. I guess we won't know until
unless something happens.
Exactly. But
yeah,
we could see a benefit.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a pretty interesting, complicated thing.
Correct.
You do marketing.
Yes.
So what methods do you have for marketing your products?
Really, mainly right now, we try to focus through our website, email, and through Instagram and LinkedIn as our main channels.
Interesting. So how do you use Instagram? And I mean, I've really gotten involved with LinkedIn now, so I'm sort of understanding it a little more, but how are you using both of those? And be specific on either one to get sales.
Yeah, I think on Instagram, it's really a growing It's a growing platform for our industry, right? Where people are now, the younger generation, like my age, is coming in and saying, I can't see any of this on Instagram. No one, these brands aren't posting anything. So this year we're actually going to be posting quite a lot in terms of tool holders in our facility and things that we do around our community. Like to showcase those on Instagram, not just based off our products, but really more community focused things that our customers, I think, don't get to see a side of a lot.
So you think that it just, people will go, well, this seems like, is it more like being aware of your brand? But it's being aware of your brand in a way that's not just, hey, look at me. It's like, look what we're doing. And
correct.
This is what we do. We sell this stuff.
Yeah. And I think we're going to be working with some influencers this year. And I think that is going to grow.
Who's an influencer, like MTD or
yeah, MTD, or CNC,
or Titan.
Titan, yeah.
I like their stuff. I wanted them to be on our podcast, actually.
They do a really good job.
How would you use them?
I think it's really they offer a good platform. They have quite a good following. So we actually did during IMTS. We did a video walkthrough of our booth
on Practical
and
Machinist.
I think it got some really good traction and on Practical Machinist, yeah. And we're going to email, so we're going to be doing another video walkthrough of our show.
In Italy or in Germany?
Germany.
Hanover. Yeah, I always get that mixed up.
Hanover.
Yeah. I went there once. Good time.
Yeah, it's we went in 2023, and I also went in 2021. 2021 was in Milan,
Yeah, well,
and then
I'm all about
2023 was in
Italy, but
Hanover.
it's all fun. It's good
Yeah,
to.
no, it's a great show. Um, you really see the future of the industry.
What do you think of that compared to IMTS?
It's really difficult to compare the two. I think emo they have a hall, right, where you can go in and you can pick conveyors. You can pick. You can basically build your own machine tool from all the different component manufacturers they have there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Like a virtual type thing, or
No, just different companies that make ball screws, linear guideways, all of the different components that go into a machine tool. They have vendors for them, right? And they all put them in one hall, and you can go say, okay, I'm going to use this tool changer, this ball screw, and really you can build your own machine tool if you go to enough vendors.
that's interesting. And they don't have anything like that at IMTS.
Not from when I had time to walk around, but
And you're presenting there.
correct. Yeah, they have a pretty big show there.
And you presented at IMTS.
Yes, yeah, we have been for I can't remember when the last time they didn't go.
You see a lot of ROI on that.
I'm not really sure it's about ROI going to the shows. It's more about creating future opportunities and brand awareness, right? It gives people a chance to meet the company, and I think that that's something that online doesn't do, right? You can see all the products there at one place. You can talk to the salespeople. You can interact, feel, and touch, which is important.
Right. I totally get it. I guess the question is how many, you guys have to sell quite a bit. If 100 people go and feel and touch your stuff in a day at emo, but there's word of mouth and.
Correct. Yeah, I think it's not an ROI for us. It's really just growing the brand, and we think that if you growing the brand, you'll have a bigger impact than just worrying about how am I going to get 20 orders to pay for the show, because the 20 orders will come. It's just how can I reach as many people to get to know about Global CNC and our products as possible.
That's a very sensible outlook. So is most of your profit come from the retail or the repairs?
Most of it's retail.
But the repairs is to keep people coming back.
It's a service, right? So we do it as a not a gesture, but we do it to complement our products, right? It's a service that we need to offer. It's not something to make a ton of money on. We don't make a lot of money off the repairs.
Right. No, I totally get that. Value added, loyalty.
Correct.
How does it feel to work with your brother and your grandfather?
It's very special. We spend 90% of the day together, and we have since we were little. I think it's special.
It's really special. I can relate.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite thing to work alongside them. I wouldn't want it another way. I know a lot of people tell us they're like, they ask the same question you do, but for us, we really enjoy each other's company, and even though sometimes we may argue, but it's because for the greater good, right? We have the same goals, and we want to figure out the path to get there.
Sure. No, I mean, it can be just a wonderful collaborative relationship. So what does your brother do and what does your grandfather do? What are their hats, their roles?
Yeah, my grandfather and my brother really focus more on the operations side. They work alongside our operations team. So really everything that has to do with the manufacturing of the products.
Mm-hmm.
And engineering too. They have a good say in that.
Okay. So operations meaning they oversee the engineering and the
engineering, production, those.
Are you more the business side? Like the business vision of it all?
Yes.
Interesting. And you're the youngest.
Yes. Yeah, I went to university for finance and supply chain management, and my brother went for mechanical engineering.
Did you know all the time that this was your destiny?
It was planned, yes. Yeah, I knew.
Wow. You knew since what age did you know?
I had to be at least 10, 11 years old that say, okay, Anthony, you're going to do this. Alexander, you're doing that.
No, well, but I mean, the way you make it sound like you knew in your heart, like this was
Yeah,
what you want to do. It wasn't like you were
yes.
anointed,
No, no,
like
no.
or
No, I mean, ever since a young age, we had interest in working with our grandfather,
that's
right?
so interesting. That's so cool.
Yeah, he's really helped. They've helped raise us, right? And really appreciative for everything they've done for us. So we want to show our appreciation back to them by
Okay, so it was more than just working with them in the business. You had a very close relationship with your
correct,
grandparents.
correct.
Very
And we still
cool.
do. I mean, we still spend a lot of time together.
How okay. So he's 84, you're 23.
We definitely differ sometimes in our approach to things.
Yeah, how do you
Right?
differ? This is a good topic.
Yeah, I think uh, there's definitely an old school. I don't maybe an old school mentality of this is what I did and this is how I succeeded and this is what we should continue doing, right? But unfortunately, sometimes have changed, right? And we have different ideas and different approaches that sometimes he doesn't agree with. But once we sit down and explain it and go over it, he gets the picture.
He meaning your grandfather.
Yes.
So have you taken over then some of the role of overseeing the business stuff from your grandfather? He was the one with that kind of vision before, and now like he likes doing operations. So this
Yes.
is where he is right now because this is like a extra fun thing for him.
Yeah, he really leaves it up to me and my brother to decide where we want to take the company.
Wow,
He's put a lot of trust in us, and
clearly.
we've done pretty well the past 4 years that we've uh, had things. So
How old is your brother?
25.
Okay, so he's not much younger, right? Not
No,
much older.
no.
Do you have any ambitions to do other types of products with the company? I mean, you have an interesting customer base, specialization. I could see there'd be other room for growth, different things you could make in the same, realm.
Yeah, we do have those thoughts, right, of what other products we could bring to the market, and definitely in the future we'd like to get into the milling tool holders, right? CAD 40, CAD 50, HSK, especially HSK is very interesting for us because that's where we see the future of milling tool holders going is HSK and for mill turns Capto, right? So those are two product lines that we're going to see probably coming the next 5 years.
What about multi spindles?
There's very specialized, right? It's a market that we haven't really had much experience in,
Hmm.
but I think it could be something that we dabble in the future as well.
I think it's really cool that you get to use the machines that you're making stuff for.
Yes, to make parts for the same machines.
I know you must reflect on that sometimes.
Yes, yeah, it's really good for us, especially because we can experiment with new types of tool holder technology that we want to come out with. Right? It's okay. We're running these parts. What's the best way? How can this tool holder help me decrease the cycle time or improve the finish or anything like that? So we really experiment in that way as well.
Interesting. Uh, all right. Well, just to wrap this up, there's a few questions I like to ask a lot of our guests. I often like to talk about serendipity. When things have it's you've already given a really good example of COVID came and that brought
Yeah.
you into the business to some extent, some more. But Any any other examples? Doesn't have to be related to the business where serendipity played a big part in where you are today, or something really important.
Um, trying to think.
I mean, if you want to use the example I already mentioned, I mean, you really couldn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I think that's really the best example that we have.
But I mean, you would have done this anyways, right? It's just that it like jump started you.
I think it jump started me really because before that I didn't have a great understanding of the that I understood that we had CNC machines and that we were making products, but I didn't understand the whole company and how it was structured and everything, right? So really, that forced me to learn, especially the products.
Interesting. So it just accelerated things.
It did, yeah. Because I had we had plans to I had plans to play hockey all 4 years, right? But I took 1 year off of COVID, and then I played my junior year, and I didn't. I only had half a senior year because I finished in 3.5 years, but I didn't play. So I only played 2 years of hockey, right? When the whole reason really to go to U of M Dearborn was to be close to home, but also play hockey.
You would have chosen some other place.
Uh, I probably would have went to like U of M, right? Ann Arbor.
Yeah, well, my dad and my brother went there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Grandmother too.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's a wonderful place.
Yeah.
So you probably would have gone there but you chose close to home.
Yeah, to play hockey as well.
Interesting. Do you feel like it was really important for you to get the 4 year education for what you do now?
100%. I think it's important, especially for me, because I can take some of those things that the basic concepts that they taught in school and apply them right quickly, right in a fast paced environment where other students they got taught those things and may not get to apply those things for 10, 15 years, right? But I can take something that I learned on a Friday and come into work while I was in school and on a Monday and say, hey, I learned this over the weekend. I
Well,
learned
what's
this
an
on Friday.
example? You get a lot of people in this business that rip on 4 year institutions. I mean, they are outrageous. It is a ridiculous thing, but it's nice to hear somebody who goes, yeah, damn right, it was practical for me.
Yeah, I think just like the education at U of M Dearborn, especially for the supply chain aspect of it, right? It had a good program so that we can apply some of those principles that I learned, whether it's like lean or like line balancing, right? Of how do we streamline this process to make a tool holder, right? Where are we lacking, and really cut down on those cut down the inefficiencies.
Interesting. Well, you had the added advantage of being pretty sure where you wanted to go, and then
Correct.
tailoring your classes exactly for that, versus many of us who are like, not sure what I want to do. I'll take some things sounds interesting and learn how to think and grow up, and there's a lot to that as well. But
Yeah, a lot of the choices we made during school were strategic, right, to help set me up to succeed here. Yeah, it was me and one of my friends that he was in a similar situation where he was taking over his family jewelry business, right,
mhm.
and he knew from a young age that he wanted to go into the business as well, and we were taking a lot of the same classes, so it was good to go through with someone that had a similar experience as well. Because a lot of the teachers and the counselors didn't understand that I was already going to have a job and that I had everything figured out, right? And not a lot of kids in school have that, so I was pretty grateful.
Do you ever feel like, and it sounds like you didn't, but like, oh, this is the easy way, going into the family business, and like, um, that I not making it for myself independently or whatever. I mean, to me, it sounds like you are just so like all in. So
Exactly, yeah.
So that probably didn't cross your mind.
Never, no. It really, from the moment we came in during COVID, me and my brother had a plan to really take it to the next level, right? And because that's the kind of people we are. We want to succeed. We want to do better, and really carry on the legacy, right? It's really important for us to carry on the legacy, not only for us, but for our children and our grandchildren, to keep it in the family and to grow it to be successful for the future as well.
Interesting. Wow. You have anything else to say to the people of the world, or just mic drop on that?
I think that's good.
I think it's really good too. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me, and I really enjoyed it.